seen a lot of disillusionment with business and political leaders because people have fundamentally felt betrayed. They felt there's been a broken connection between their interest and the goals leaders pursue, between the principles they hold dear and the principles these leaders represent. And when leaders advance goals that people don't benefit from or embody principles that people don't feel they share, then what you see is the breaking of trust. And when people no longer trust you, then it's hard to call yourself a leader. One of the things we need to look at is whether the ways in which we've defined and developed leadership over the last 30, 40, 50 years has actually contributed to the difficulty leaders have in gathering and sustaining the trust of the people that they hope to lead. One of the things that's not been particularly helpful is the fact that we've defined leadership as essentially the ability to get your way, the ability to get people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise do. And we've ignored the question of, but why are you asking them to do, and what benefit do they gather from it, and what's the larger cultural system of values in which we are pursuing those things that you're asking. So the way I define it is as the willingness, the ability, and the trust to articulate and embody and help realize a story of possibility for a group of people at a point in time. And what you see in that definition is a number of elements. One is that leadership is, first of all, a perspective. It's a perspective of personal responsibility. It's the willingness to take responsibility for a group of people, a set of principles, for a phenomenon that you care about. Two is having the ability, having the capacity to get some things done. This could be analytical ability, behavioral abilities, strategic abilities, functional abilities, but you need to have some skills in order to lead. You can't just have willingness and enthusiasm, of course. But the third and important element is that leadership is also an endowment. It's not something that you possess by virtue of your position, by virtue of your skills, by virtue of your resources. It's something that others endow you by virtue of the fact that they trust you to articulate and embody, as I said earlier, goals and principles, a story that gives them a sense of hope and that makes the sacrifices that you might be asking them to make meaningful. I think what happens is that we've researched and developed leadership originally in organizations that were very stable, that were very homogeneous, that are very hierarchical, where people shared the same principles and very often agreed in broad terms on the goals. In that case, leadership development sensibly becomes helping people to stand out, helping them to show that they're smarter, bolder, more skillful than other people so that they can be trusted to lead. In many ways, leadership development has remained a set of activities that help individuals stand out, when in today's environment, standing out is not the main challenges of leaders. The main challenge that leaders face is to actually bring people together. And so I think we need to shift the focus from the development of individual leaders to the development of leadership community, from an individualistic to a much more relational view of leadership, and actually help those who aspire to lead gather their resources to bring people together, to shape common principles, and to actually let shared goals emerge.